If you're Mormon and your loved one left over church history, I'm going to give you the cliff notes of what they read so that you can understand them better without having to sort through all of the anti-Mormon stuff online. Now, this is part 2 of this video series, so make sure to watch the other videos on my channel to see the rest. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about in this video is polygamy. Why is polygamy such a big deal to all of the anti-Mormons? If you remember, you already know about Brigham Young's polygamy and all of the prophets that followed him until they discontinued it. But what they didn't teach us in church was that Joseph Smith actually had 35 plus wives in addition to Emma while he was still alive. Now, the church told us that polygamy originally started because there were so many women who lost their husbands and needed someone to be sealed to. But what they didn't tell us was that most of Joseph's wives were young girls or women who were already married to faithful priesthood holders in the church. Now, you can confirm all of these details on the church's own family search site, and when you look at the dates of the sealings, you'll see that Joseph Smith sealed himself to 26 other women before he ever sealed himself to his wife Emma. Now, as a member of the church, we know that the Sealing Ordinance is the most important thing that you can do in the church, and it's how you get into the celestial kingdom. And we see that the first thing Joseph did when he found out about the Sealing Ordinance and got the sealing power was to seal himself to 26 other women before telling his wife Emma about this important ordinance. And this brings us to the next issue that your loved one might have read about, and that is the origination of the temple ordinances. Now, many of you probably knew that Joseph Smith was a Freemason, but if you look up the Freemason ceremonies, you will notice that they are nearly a word-for-word match for the Mormon temple ceremonies. And when you look up the dates that Joseph became a Freemason and was introduced to those ceremonies, you will find that he was introduced to the Freemason ceremonies just 6 weeks before he introduced those same ceremonies in the Mormon temple. Now, some members hear this and they're like, what's the big deal? Maybe God revealed the temple ceremonies to the Freemasons first, right? But if you're my age or younger, you probably never found out about the death covenant that your parents and grandparents and ancestors made in the temple before 1990. If you went through the temple before 1990, then your ceremony included a death covenant that you would rather end your life than reveal the secrets of the temple. If you don't believe me, you can look this up or just ask your parents about it and watch how terrified their faces become when they see that you know this information. But after 1990, the church changed this wording in the ceremonies after running a survey to find out what would make the members more comfortable to come to the temple more often. So even though it was previously revealed by God that this needed to be the exact wording for the temple ceremonies, the church changed the wording by popular demand. So hopefully you can see why finding out this information would be pretty unsettling for your loved one to find out. I know personally, I had prayed and pondered to find out the spiritual meaning behind the temple gestures for years, and finding out that they represented a suicide pact was disappointing to say the least. Once again, this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to fun facts they never shared in Sunday school. So stay tuned for the next video, and I wish you peace in sorting through this information with your loved one.